Hey everybody, welcome to DadsDen of Pop Culture and Mighty Thor Monday. We started week 1 of this year examining the legendary Walt Simonson run on Mighty Thor in the 1980s. We are now in the first week of May. We're hitting the crescendo of his opening storyline. It's all been leading up to this one. A lot of issues of a comic, one hell of a story. This is the finale of the Surtur saga, Thor number 353 from March of 1985. Thor is down. Odin trapped in ice. Heimdall also down. The other Asgardians are away on Midgard fighting. Balder is on a mission to the Norns, and Loki is nowhere to be found. This is Doom 2, and what do we see on this amazing splash page? We see Surtur, the fire giant, plunging the sword Twilight into the eternal flame. This will give him the power he needs to destroy everything. That's what he seeks. It is his moment of glory. He puts it into the flame. Now is the moment when by all the demons of Burning Lake, the fire, what has become of the fire? My sword, why isn't it lit? Surely not even the fates can cheat me of my victory like this. Many questions, mighty Surtur. One answer. Loki. 'Twas you. Yes, the god of mischief, the god of evil. Let's be honest, most people's favorite Asgardian from the MCU, when you get right down to it. I live with a kid who was absolutely in love with Loki. Just what a dad wants to hear. Loki has finally shown up. That flame was an illusion. And Surtur is like, hey, you promised Malekith that you would stay out of this. And he says, well, I did say that, but it's very, very easy to deceive a deceiver. And he says, look, the reality is you kind of pitched this as I'm going to burn Asgard to the ground. That's fine with Loki. But in reality, you want to destroy everything. How does that benefit me? And that's really great the way he has it put. You know, how does this benefit? It's right here. But the destruction of everything? And of what use is that to me? It's not that he's horrified by the idea of everything being destroyed. But how is it useful to him? Exactly. He's still Loki, folks. But now he's joined the fight. And so he forms all these illusions of himself, and they're all attacking. Again, this would have looked great on a movie screen. All these mini Lokis flying around and attacking this dude, kind of like the biplanes with King Kong. But he's fighting, and finally realizes all of his illusory doubles have been destroyed. If you're a D&D guy, that would probably be he cast Mirror Image. They're all destroyed, so he says, I better get out of here. But he lingers too long, and he gets skagged by the sword, which still has a lot of power, even if it has been plunged into the flames. So Loki goes down. So nobody's left. Surtur starts tearing Asgard apart, and he finally finds where the real flame is. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Roger Willis was in the land of the Dark Elves, putting the casket of ancient winters together, and he was almost done. We had one piece left, but Surtur summoned that winter to Asgard. So now Earth is not locked in a winter anymore. And that means the Dark Elves are not frozen anymore, and that means the Dark Elves are chasing him. And Human Torch arrives just in time to pull him out of there, out of that hole. You see the demons coming. They say, yeah, we're not gonna deal with them. We're going to get in this little vehicle here. What is it called? Rip Roar 1. And we are going to get out of here as quickly as we can. And while they're flying, he puts the last piece in. And he realizes, though, this might have been useless. I mean, what's the point? The winter's, it's gone. The ice is gone. The snow is gone. But he goes, well, maybe the Smithsonian would like this thing. He goes, it's not a bad job of reconstruction. And he seals the lid, and it clicks, and he goes, holy, what is it? The casket, it's freezing again. The winter enchantment is back inside the box, I'd swear it. It feels just like it did the first time I found it. But if the winter wasn't on the earth, and it wasn't in the box until just now, then where was it? Well, it was in Asgard. And Roger Willis might have just saved all of creation, because with the winter returned, Odin is freed. May the frost giants burn in the ever-glowing sun. Odin is free of the curse of ice, but there is still time. The flame must be mine. 1,000 times nay, villain. The flame shall not be thine, now or ever. What? A hammer? Knocking the blade away from the brazier? But that can only mean, yes, the good guys have rallied at the last second. Ba-ding! Mjolnir knocks the sword away from the flame, and now we have it. Odin and his two sons, Loki and Thor, fighting together, as we saw on the cover. Oh, boy, you know what? I got into this so quickly that I neglected something. Art and story, Walter Simonson. Lettering, John Workman Jr. Colors, Christy Scheel. Editing, Mark Grunwald. Editor-in-chief, Jim Shooter. Okay, so they're all together, and we hear Odin say, "But how better for a god to die, Surtur of Muspelheim, than facing fearful odds, and when better to die than with a man's sons beside him? For Asgard, says Odin. For Midgard, says Thor. For myself, says Loki." Hey, they all got their own things going right there. And that's reminiscent to me of, if you've ever read The Odyssey. The Odyssey has maybe one of the bloodiest moments ever at the end of the story. When Odysseus has come home and he reveals who he is to his son. He reveals who he is to his father. And it was a big deal to have 3 generations of men fighting together, right? You know, that was a big deal. And what a fight. And what they do to those guys who had been hanging around Persephone. Wow. Dare them to put that on film in these days and not flinch from it. But we got the 3 of them fighting together, and they're putting all their power into stopping Surtur and pushing him back. And they do knock him down. And with a thunderous crash, the great demon falls before the combined might of the Asgardians. Oh, but it ain't over. He takes out Odin and Loki. Thor must fight alone for a moment. He uses all of his power, holds him off long enough for the other 2 to get involved. And then we switch to the fight with the troll and Frigga and the kids. Now this, I got to be honest with you, I don't like the way it breaks up what was happening here. I wish this had been a little bit earlier. I'm not big on that one because I think they were really building to something great here. This one kind of broke the tension a little bit, but basically Hildy has this plan. She's going to lure the troll. He's got an axe. He's not very bright. He's going to hit the bridge. He's going to put a hole through it, which he does. And she's got a rope tied to herself so she won't fall into the crevasse. It's probably a pretty iffy plan because if that axe hadn't split that wood, she'd be in a lot of trouble. But that's just a little momentary glimpse. And then right back into what's going on here. And basically at this point, Odin is saying, "Give it up, Surtur. We have enough power to push you back. You're not going to get past us. You're not going to get to the flame. Just give it up." But Surtur says, "Hey, I don't need to reach the flame. I'm going to call forth the flames of Muspelheim into Asgard. And when they mingle with the flame, then any of them can ignite my sword." Oh, this is a desperate situation. So here come the flames bursting out, trying to get to the main flame there. Thor calls on the rain, and he's in Asgard, so he's got extra power here. And the rains come down to put out the fires, and now we switch to the Sahara Desert. They are fighting tooth and nail against the demons, but they can't keep it up forever. It looks like they are, in fact, going to lose unless they can do something about that doggone portal. But when it's looking bleak, dude, this is epic. This is the good stuff, man. I love this stuff. And you can say, well, it's kind of corny. I don't care. Sometimes reality is corny. Reality often is corny. This stuff works for me. Who appears but Balder the Brave and Karnilla with the army of the Norns? They have joined the fight, and they bash into these, wicked demons and start driving them back. But again, this is a temporary reprieve, but it's a reprieve they needed because it gives Bill a chance. He's got a plan, a cunning plan. He has Enchantress summon the strongest that are there: Vision, Hercules, and She-Hulk. He says, what we're going to do is this. We're going to topple this portal. So they head in. Beta Ray Bill and She-Hulk are on one side, Hercules and Vision on the other, and they start pounding away at the legs of this thing. And then he has Enchantress send messages to his other, his warriors. Tell Karnilla and her forces to drive them this way. Tell our forces to retreat past, not through, past the portal, to draw the demons into it. And then they begin pushing with all their might. Some great, great art there. And there you see She-Hulk in the background of Beta Ray Bill. And it's not working, and it's not working. And finally, it begins to move. And then it starts to collapse. And we see, I love this. I love the demon as it's coming down on them. Uh-oh. Now that, and they've done the uh-oh a couple times here. It is very reminiscent to me of like an 80s film, that moment of just like, oh, crap. In fact, maybe this was the 90s at that point, but Star Trek, The Undiscovered Country, that moment at the end when General Chang realizes he's doomed, and he kind of has that, oh, crap. All right, so anyways, boom. It collapses in on Surtur's army. It is finished. The demons trapped within the falling gateway have vanished, sent straight back to Muspelheim as the gate encompassed them. Now it lies broken beyond repair, and only a handful of demons remain. Forward, warriors of Asgard. Forward, heroes of Valhalla. Forward all, as we sweep the enemy before us to his total destruction. Ah, good stuff. Good stuff. Shakespearean-style speeches. Yeah, I mean, okay, again, maybe it's a little corny. I love it. And I think it works really well in the context of Thor. Well, they're fighting. The rains did not put out all the fires in Asgard. It's just about it. This is going to happen. The day is mine, Odin. Your reign is finished. But wait, what mockery is this? I sense my demons on Midgard have been defeated by the Asgardians. Surely no human agency, no Asgardian trickery could have undone the elite of Muspelheim. And that gives Thor the moment he is waiting for. Look at this. Look at that face. And so he winds up Mjolnir. It's so fast, it's blistering his own hands. And he lets it fly, and Odin guide it, and he knocks the sword, Twilight, out of Surtur's hand. He's no longer in contact with it. And because he's no longer in contact with it, Odin is not prevented from taking on that giant form. And so we see Odin grow, and boom. Now we got a kaiju fight in the middle of Asgard. Surtur versus Odin. This is the hour of your defeat. And here it comes, man. Never. I shall not be robbed of the laurel so close to victory. Thor, Loki, Surtur and I stand on the brink of the cliff to Muspelheim. Do what must be done. No hesitation. Quickly, Thor, destroy Surtur's footing. Thus shall we send him back to the realm where he belongs. 'Tis done, brother. And they smash the stones beneath Surtur's feet. and Odin and he topple into Muspelheim. No! Well struck, O my sons! Thy father's pride in his children is beyond all measure, but Surtur must never return. Guard well this ancient realm, and rule it wisely. Into your hands I give the future. Now again, I talked about this, maybe it was last time. There are moments in this that feel very much like Gandalf and the Balrog, and this is one of them. And so he falls in, it closes, and we have Thor yelling, Father. Well, Thor and Loki both yelling, Father. Again, look at just a great page. So well done. Look at them in there. Amazing stuff. Odin is gone. Next, picking up the pieces, what else is there to say? And I love this. This issue especially is for Stan, Jack, Vinny, Artie, and Sam. Yes, the legendary folks who first brought Thor to modern America as a superhero. The Surtur saga is over. He has been defeated at the cost of Odin. But if you think this is all over, boy, are you wrong. There's a lot to come. We're not just going to get an issue that sort of is the cool down issue. We are going to get a little bit of that. But this has set things in motion. This is big. And this was a lasting thing. I haven't read the modern stuff. I don't know what they've done. But Odin stayed gone for a good long time. We're going to get what happens to the Asgardians who are now trapped on Midgard, because the bridge is gone. We're going to get to find out what happens with Beta Ray Bill and Sif. We're going to find out what happens to the throne of Asgard. And we still have one more absolutely legendary story in this saga coming. That was referenced in the one Thor movie a little bit, which did reference some of this too, but just very haphazardly and poorly. But we're going to get more. Oh, we're going to get so much more. So stick with this series. There's some great stuff coming up. Let me know in the comments what you think of this one. Thor number 353 from March of 1985 and the finale of the Surtur saga. Big stories, big epic stuff. Exactly what you should be getting in a Thor comic book. I love it to death. But let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this review, retrospective, please give it a like, maybe subscribe, maybe share with a friend. That'd be very cool. But until next time, God bless everybody. Please be kind to one another. Have a little bit of fun out there. By the bristling beard of Odin. Have some fun out there. And I will see you hopefully again soon in Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Bye-bye.